بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الحمد لله تعالى نحمده ونستعين به ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله تبارك وتعالى من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله تعالى فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله تعالى وأحسن الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار نسأل الله العزيز الغفار أن يجيرنا وإياكم من عذاب النار. We praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we thank Him for His generosity, mercy, ask Him subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept our good deeds and to overlook our transgressions. We continue inshallah ta'ala with our series of the Tafsir, explanation of the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we're still with the fifth rule of the Tafsir, القاعدة الخامسة. وقلنا أن القاعدة تقول أن العبرة بعموم اللفظ وليست بخصوص السبب. This rule says that the lesson is not from the specificity of the term or the phrase, but the lesson is from the general meaning of it, which means in layman terms, as I told you before, that the ayah, when an ayah is revealed or a story or an incident are revealed in the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala based on a specific thing that took place or a specific incident that took place, then the benefit of it is not limited to that incident or the entities that are involved in that incident, but it extends to the whole ummah. It's a general, it extends to the whole ummah as a rule. And we were talking, as we gave many examples, gave you the ayah, that was our example number 11, and I gave the ayah but did not go into the story because we did not have time last week. We asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us barakah in our time, in our lives, in our wealth, in our health, inshallah ta'ala. Without the barakah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, everything comes up really short. So Allah ta'ala said, وَاتْلُ عَلَيْهِمْ نَبَأَ الَّذِي آتَيْنَاهُ آيَاتِنَا فَانْسَلَخَ مِنْهَا. Tell them, O Muhammad, relate to them the story of the one that to whom we gave our ayat. Meaning, when Allah says our ayat, He gave the ayat to someone, that means He gives him the signs that he sees for him to believe. He gives him the ayat, the verses of the scripture, and then He gives him the knowledge associated with those ayat. That's what it means. فَانْسَلَخَ مِنْهَا. انسلخ منها, as I told you before, the word salkh. Salkh is when you slaughter an animal and you remove the skin or the hide. That's salkh, meaning the ayat of Allah. He was so close to them, connected to them, and then he got removed. He removed himself from these ayat. فَأَتْبَعَهُ الشَّيْطَانِ. And I told you before, these are the opportunities that the shaitan looks for someone just to, subhanAllah, to stray away a little bit from the signs of Allah, the ayat of Allah. Shaitan attacks right away, standing by, waiting for the opportunity. فَأَتْبَعَهُ الشَّيْطَانِ فَكَانَ مِنَ الْغَاوِينَ. After the shaitan followed him, meaning that he got a hold of him, he became from the corruptors. This man that was given the ayat meaning he was a person of knowledge, and he was calling people to Allah, then all of a sudden he's the one that became from the corruptors. وَلَوْ شِئْنَا لَرَفَعْنَاهُ بِهَا. If you have wanted, Allah Ta'ala says, we would have elevated him with them, with these ayat that he was given. وَلَكِنَّهُ أَخْلَدَ إِلَى الْأَرْضِ. But he chose to lower himself to the earth, meaning by following the things, the material things, the things of the life of this world. وَاتَّبَعَ هَوَاهُ. And he followed his hawa, his vain desire. And incidentally, we spent probably about half of the lecture last week speaking about the danger of al-hawa. فَمَثَلُهُ كَمَثَلِ الْكَلْبِ. His parable, his example is that of the dog. If إن تحمل عليه يلهث وإن تتركه يلهث. إن تحمل عليه وجهان، يعني أن تحمل عليه أثقال، تكلفه بأعباء. تحمل عليه, if you translate it verbatim, it's that you put some weight on him, meaning that you put some pressure on him, you make him work, you put him to do something. That's one opinion. And the other one is إن تحمل عليه أي, if you attack him, force him to run. So both are correct, because this is one of the rules that we saw, that if I think it was the second or the third rule in the same series that we are upon, that says that when an ayah or a word in the Quran are explained, that are given authentic explanation based on the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, the explanation of the Sahaba, and there are different explanations, but we have to attribute all those explanations to that word or the ayah as being correct. So this is the case here. In tahmil alayhi, mean you put him, you gave him something to do, some work to do, or you attack him to force him to run. He will loll his tongue out. He will loll his tongue out. But if you leave him alone, he's all relaxing. He just had a nice meal and he's relaxing in the shade. He will be doing the same thing. He will be lolling his tongue out. Subhanallah. ذلك مثل القوم الذين كذبوا بآياتنا. That is the example of the people that have belied our signs and verses. فقصص القصص لعلهم يتفكرون. So tell them the story of Muhammad, O Muhammad, perchance they will be reminded. فهذه الآية تحكي قصة رجل من بني إسرائيل آتاه الله عز وجل العلم وآتاه الآيات البينات. This tells the story of a man from the Israelites that was given knowledge of the book. وكان حقا عليه أن يعني يعبد الله عز وجل ويزيد منه قربا حتى يجزى يعني وأن الله عز وجل يعني يزيده من فضله. So this person was supposed to be thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so Allah ta'ala will increase him in knowledge, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one that bestows the knowledge upon his servants. Allah ta'ala says in Surah Al-Ma'idah, يا أهل الكتاب قد جاءكم رسولنا يبين لكم كثيرا مما كنتم تخفون من الكتاب ويعفو عن كثير. And this, by the way, these ayat, we should not go too much into, because Allah ta'ala is talking about the fact that the people of the book, the ones that came before us, they had a habit of showing what they wanted from the scriptures and hiding what they wanted. Something that goes along with their benefits, their agenda, they'll show it. And something that didn't, they will hide and subhanAllah conceal from the people. Ya Ahl al-Kitabi, O people of the book, our messenger has come to you so that he can clarify and show a lot from what you used to conceal from the book, and he will forgive much. A lot of them he will overlook. قَدْ جَاءَكُم مِّنَ اللَّهِ نُورٌ وَكِتَابٌ مُبِينٌ. From Allah came to you a light and a clear book. Al-Quran. يهده به الله من اتبع رضوانه سبل السلام. Allah Ta'ala will guide with this book the ones that want to follow His, that have the pleasure of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. And they want to have peace with themselves and peace with their surrounding and peace with Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. وَيُخْرِجُهُمْ مِنَ الظُّلُمَاتِ إِلَى النُّورِ بِإِذْنِهِ. And He takes them out of the darkness into the light with His permission. وَيَهْدِيهِمْ إِلَى صِرَاطٍ مُسْتَقِيمٍ. And He guides them to a straight path. SubhanAllah. And Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala goes on to talk about the ones, and by the way, this answers to the people that say, why are you saying that the people of the book, like the Jews and the Christians, why are you saying that they are people of kufr? You can't say that. Some people say that. It's right here. Allah Ta'ala says it. لَقَدْ كَفَرُوا مَنْ الَّذِينَ قَالُوا إِنَّ اللَّهَ هُوَ الْمَسِيحُ ابْنُ مَرْيَمَ. They have committed kufr. The ones that say that Al-Masih, the Messiah, that Allah is the Messiah, the Son of Mary. Then Allah Ta'ala gives a statement. قُلْ فَمَنْ يَمْلِكُ مِنَ اللَّهِ شَيْئًا إِنْ أَرَادَ أَنْ يُهْلِكَ الْمَسِيحَ ابْنَ مَرْيَمَ وَأُمَّهُ وَمَنْ فِي الْأَرْضِ جَمِيعًا. Ya Allah, what a strong statement. Yeah. Who owns anything? Who owns anything? Who can defend against this? If Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala decides to destroy the Messiah, the Son of Mary, and His mother, and all of the dwellers of the earth. SubhanAllah. A show of absolute power from Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. وَلِلَّهِ مُلْكُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَمَا بَيْنَهُمَا. To Allah belongs the dominion of the heavens and the earth, that which is between. يَخْلُقُ مَا يَشَاءُ وَاللَّهُ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٌ. He creates that which He wills, and Allah Ta'ala is capable over and is over everything capable, subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the story of this man, the man that Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala talks about in the ayat. الرجل هذا اسمه بلعام ابن باعوراء. بلعام ابن باعوراء is also mentioned in the Bible as Balaam, and something close to this name, Bil'am ibn Ba'ura, a person from the Israelites. Allah Ta'ala gave him knowledge of the book, and He gave him understanding, and He gave him the honor of spending time with Musa alayhi salam and learning from him. And it was Musa alayhi salam that gave him the knowledge, and He put him in charge. He was a messenger of Musa to his people, to his tribe. And so he went and spent time with his people, teaching them the book of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. It was also mentioned that he had the knowledge of the most tremendous name of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, Ismullah al-A'zam, the one that if you ask Allah Ta'ala using that particular name, Allah will answer your supplication. He had that knowledge, which means that his supplication was accepted. Allah Ta'ala accepted his supplication. And as you know, Ismullah al-A'zam, just to spend a few minutes on that one, ذكر كثير فيه. It was a lot mentioned about Ismullah al-A'zam, the tremendous name of Allah, that if you use in supplicating Allah, Allah Ta'ala will accept your supplication and He will give you what you ask for. But there was a difference of opinion between the scholars, which I'll mention in a minute. But there are many ahadith mentioned about this name. From them, the hadith that was collected by Ibn Majah, hadith Abi Umama al-Bahili radiyallahu anhu. قال صلى الله عليه وسلم اسم الله الأعظم في سور من القرآن 3 في البقرة وآل عمران وطه. Prophet ﷺ specifically said The name of Allah, this name of Allah, you'll find them in 3 of the surah of the Quran. Find it in Al-Baqarah, Al-Imran, and Surah Taha. في سورة البقرة الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم آية الكرسي. Allah لا إله إلا هو, there is no deity besides Him. Al-Hayy, the all living, Al-Qayyum, the sustainer of the heavens and the earth. So Al-Hayy Al-Qayyum. And this also is mentioned in Al-Imran, Allah la ilaha illa hu. In the very beginning of Al-Imran, Allah la ilaha illa hu Al-Hayy Al-Qayyum. And in Surah Taha, وَعَنَتِ الْوُجُوهُ لِلْحَيِّ الْقَيُّومِ. عَنَتِ الْوُجُوهُ is describing what will take place in the hereafter, on the day of judgment, in the land of resurrection. And when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will show some of Himself, subhanahu, His presence, then all of the faces are up to see it or to look in the direction of Al-Hayy Al-Qayyum, the all living and the one that is the sustainer of the heavens and the earth. حديث أسماء بنت يزيد قال صلى الله عليه وسلم اسم الله الأعظم في هاتين الآيتين وإلهكم إله واحد لا إله إلا هو الرحمن الرحيم. And your Lord is but one Lord, there is no deity besides Him. He is Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, the merciful, the especially merciful. وقالت وفي قوله تعالى الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم. So she added this particular ayah, هو الرحمن الرحيم, إلهكم إله واحد لا إله إلا هو الرحمن الرحيم. So the scholars, some of them say that they deny the existence of this particular idea, that there's a name of Allah that you asked and your supplication is accepted. Others say that, well, such a name exists, but Allah Ta'ala has concealed it from His servants. But the correct al-rajih, the one that has more weight and more proofs behind it, is the fact that yes, this name does exist, as many of the scholars mentioned so. But there's a hadith that I mentioned before in one of the khutbah of Jumu'ah, and if brothers remember, I printed out this particular hadith in Arabic and English. حديث النسائي عن أنس قال كنت جالسا مع رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم في الحلقة. We were sitting with the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم, we're in a حلقة circle. ورجل قائم يصلي, while a man was praying. فلما ركع وسجد جلس وتشهد. After he did الركوع and السجود, he finished his salah, he sat down to do his tashahhud. ثم دعا, then he made supplication. He said, اللهم إني أسألك بأن لك الحمد لا إله إلا أنت المنان يا بديع السماوات والأرض يا ذا الجلال والإكرام يا حي يا قيوم إني أسألك كذا وكذا ثم دعا. So this is the introduction. This is authentic hadith. I printed this out for many of you brothers. This is the dua that I will translate the dua in a minute. So the Prophet ﷺ, when he heard that, قالت أتدرون بما دعا, he said, do you know what he made? What kind of supplication he made? Or بما دعا, what did he use to make supplication? قالوا الله ورسوله أعلم. They said, Allah and His Messenger know best. قال صلى الله عليه وسلم والذي نفسي بيده لقد دعا بسم الله العظيم الذي إذا دعي به أجاب وإذا سئل به أعطى. He said, by the one in whose hands my soul is, he made supplication using the most tremendous of Allah's names, the one that if he is invoked with, he will answer, and if he's asked with, he will give, subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the supplication that he made, he said, O Allah, indeed I ask you, since all praise is due to you, there is none worthy of worship but you, the bestower, the creator of the heavens and the earth, O possessor of majesty and honor, O ever living, O eternal, I ask you. And then he made his supplication. This is the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There are other narrations of the hadith, but this is not our subject today, so I will not go into it. Let's go back to the story of this man. Ibn Abbas رضي الله عنهما حكى لنا قصة هذا الرجل. He told us the story of this man. قال إن نبي الله موسى عليه السلام قد أرسل بالعام ابن باعوراء إلى أرض كنعان. So the Prophet of Allah, Musa, after training Bil'am ibn Ba'ura, after teaching him the book, he sent him to Canaan, which is where? Oh, it's more like Iraq. Canaan, yeah. It's kind of between the two, between Iraq and Syria, Abu Canaan. ليعلمهم ويدعوهم إلى الله, so that he will teach them and call them to Allah. فقال أهلها له إنهم يخشون أن يغزوهم نبي الله موسى ويحتل أرضهم بنو إسرائيل. They told him, this is after he spent time with them and teaching them, and they know him, they know he's a righteous person, they know his supplication is accepted. They said that we're afraid that Banu Israel, the Israelite Musa, and the Israelites will come and invade us and take over our land. وطلبوا منه أن يدعو على نبي الله موسى ومن معه. Look at this, subhanAllah. And they asked him to make supplication against Musa and whoever is with him, because they know his supplication is accepted. They said, okay, these people we're worried about them, they're going to come invade us, make supplication against them. فرفض في البداية. At first he would not have it. At first he refused. قال لهم هذا نبي الله وإن فعلت معه ما تريدون ذهبت ديانتي وآخرتي. He said, this is the messenger of Allah. If I do what you asked me, then my religion is finished and my hereafter is, I'll be doomed in the hereafter. قالوا لا بد أن تفعل, you have to do it. وأغروه بالمال والمناصب والسلطة حتى افتتن. So, what's the oldest trick in the book? Someone refused to do something. You buy them. So they gave him all kinds of money. They gave him a position of power. Anything that a person would want in the life of this world, they put under his feet. There. You can have all of this, just do what we're asking you to do. Ibn Abbas said that this man got on his donkey. We'll save us time if I just do it in English mostly. He got on his donkey to go up a mountain so he can make supplication against Musa and the Israelites. But his donkey would not move. He kept trying to get it to go, it would not move. فتمتنع, قال تمتنع عن السير فيضربها. He will refuse to move and he will hit it over and over. The donkey would not move. Subhanallah. هكذا عدة مرات. Many times. ولما آلمها, when he really heard this animal, this poor animal, أنطقها الله فقالت. Allah Ta'ala made her speak. And she said, إنك تسوقني والملائكة تردني. You are the one, you're pushing me towards the mountain while the angels of Allah are pushing me back. وَلِلَكَ كُفَّ عَنِّي. Leave me alone. Like you're trying to push me forward, the angels of Allah are pushing me back. SubhanAllah. And then she started, even the donkey said, woe unto you. Do you know what you're doing? You're going to go and make supplication against the Prophet of Allah. This is a donkey giving him advice, giving him maw'id. You're going to go and make supplication against the Prophet of Allah, the Messenger of Allah, and the believers that are with him. SubhanAllah. فترجل عنها. ما معنى فترجل عنها؟ بقى راجل كده ملوي هدومه يعني ولا ايه؟ ترجل عنها. من هم الراجلون؟ اللي بيتمشوا يعني شافها وأخذها ماشي كده يعني شفت ترجل عنها. He got off the animal started walking towards his. So he got on the mountain. قال فأشرف عليهم على بني إسرائيل. He got up on a mountain that oversees the Israelites, the area where they live in. So he started using the Ismullah al-A'zam, the name of Allah that I talked about that he knew, to make supplication against them. فَرَدَّ اللَّهُ دُعَاءَهُ إِلَى قَوْمِهِ. So he started, whatever supplication he made against them was returned. It bounced back, and went back to him and his people. SubhanAllah. Whatever he said, oh Allah, destroy them. Destruction comes to his people. Oh Allah, do this. It comes to him. SubhanAllah. فصار كلما دعا على قوم موسى بشيء أوقعه الله في قومه. It became that every time he made a supplication against them, that's what happened to his people. وكان إذا دعا لقومه بشيء كان ذلك في بني إسرائيل. Whenever he made a good supplication for his people, that supplication goes to Bani Israel. Against Bani Israel, that goes to his people. They came to him and said, وَيْلَكْ, woe unto you, Ya Bal'am. You're making supplication against us and for them. What are you doing? He said, this is something that I don't own. This is something that قال فقد غلبني الله عليه. This is something that Allah Ta'ala has forced me to do. قال حتى أصبح الله تعالى ينطقه. Allah Ta'ala will make him, force him to make supplication for Musa alayhi salam and the Israelites. قال فلم يزل يدعو لقومه وعلى بني إسرائيل وهو يجاب بالعكس حتى اندلع لسانه وقال لهم ذهبت ديانتي وآخرتي. SubhanAllah. He said that he kept doing this until his اندلع لسانه, his tongue, SubhanAllah, instead of doing the dhikr that he used to do, his tongue started just saying idle talk and the wrong things, the things that get him closer to Jahannam. He said, because of what I did, my religion is finished, my hereafter is gone. The only thing that we have left is قَالَ لَمْ يَبْقَ لَكُمْ إِلَّا الْمَكْرُ وَالْحَيْلِ. The only thing that you have is, what's the word? Trickery and plotting. This is all we can do now, is find a way to defeat the Israelites using the methods that are displeasing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. قال ولم يكتف بالعام بهذا بل بين لهم الحيلة التي سيستخدمون ليهلكوا بني إسرائيل. He said he did not stop there. He actually showed them. He devised a plan and then how to trick Bani Israel, how to get them away, to lead them astray from the path of Allah. قال لهم, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us, because what's coming is painful. قال لهم جملوا نساءكم واتركوهن بين معسكر بني إسرائيل وأوصوهن ألا يمنعن أحدا من الزنا بهن فإن زنى واحد منهن بواحدة منكم كفيتموه. Painful. He said, beautify your women. He always goes back to that. And then let them loose in the camp of the Israelites. Like the Israelites, their army is camping. Let them loose in the camp of the Israelites. And make sure you tell them, if any of the Israelites wants to commit adultery with you, you let him. SubhanAllah. The Prophet ﷺ, didn't he warn about this and tell us about this fitna? حديث أخرجه مسلم عن أبي سعيد الخدري قال صلى الله عليه وسلم إن الدنيا حلوة خضرة وإن الله مستخلفكم فيها فينظر كيف تعملون. He said the life of this world حلوة, beautiful, appealing, خضرة, green, beautiful. It's appealing to the nature of the son of Adam. And verily Allah Ta'ala will put you in charge in it to see what you're going to do. test you. فَاتَّقُوا الدُّنْيَا وَاتَّقُوا النِّسَاء. So take a protection. Protect yourself from the dunya and protect yourself from the women. هذا ما يعني يسميه العلماء عطف الخاص على العام. هل النساء جزء من الدنيا؟ الجواب نعم. فلماذا ذكر الدنيا ثم ذكر النساء؟ This is what the scholars call adding the specific to the general. Allah says, be careful, protect yourself from the dunya. Are the women part of the dunya? Yes, they are. So why did he have to mention them again? To make you aware. It's a dangerous fitna. And I don't have to explain. We live in the 21st century. Just look around you. Just go to the store. Just go to the mall. And you see what the Prophet is talking about. It has become ridiculous. Not only here, everywhere. He said then, he said, protect yourself from the dunya and protect yourself from the women. He's talking about the wicked women, the unrighteous women. May Allah Ta'ala protect you and I. قال فإن أول فتنة بني إسرائيل كانت في النساء. He said because the very first fitna of Bani Israel was the fitna of women. And this is it. We're talking about it. SubhanAllah. This is what the Prophet said. ففعلوا ذلك. These people, these spineless people, these people that have no jealousy about their honor, they have no honor. May Allah Ta'ala protect us, protect our families. They let their women beautify themselves and loose in the camp of the Israelites. قال فمرت امرأة تسمى كستا بنت صور. This woman, they mentioned her name, كستا بنت صور, من أجمل النساء يعني في زمانها. This is one of the most beautiful women of that time, of the people of Canaan. على رجل يسمى زنزي ابن شلهوم. أسمائهم الأسماء دي تقطع الخلينا من البيت. إيه الأسماء دي؟ إيه الأسماء دي؟ شلهوم إيه ده؟ الله أستغفر. So one of their women, she was the most beautiful of all those women. She, of course, she went for the leader. And this is the leader mentioned by name, Zamzi ibn Shalhum. كان من عظماء بني إسرائيل. It was from the leaders. قال فاقتادها. So he took her into his tent. فرآه نبي الله موسى. Musa عليه السلام came and found this travesty taking place. What is going on here? So Musa saw him. And he said, what are you doing? He ignored the Prophet of Allah and went inside. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was angry with them and cursed them subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he sent a plague on them. And by the way, the time of the Israelites, the punishment was in the life of this world, and it was immediate. Every time they made major mistakes, Allah Ta'ala punished them on the spot. And this is another mercy that Allah gave this ummah, that He gives you time to repent, gives you time to go back and imagine the minute you make a mistake, the punishment comes down on the spot. Imagine, subhanAllah. This is what happened to Banu Israel. Tell them to take a hike, tell them to go find something else to do, because we're busy in a lecture right now. Allah Musta'an. The brother knows what I'm talking about, so I'll leave it at that. So, so Allah Ta'ala saying the plague on these people. Then, subhanAllah, a man by the name of Sihah ibn Ayran. He was another strong man from the warriors of Bani Israel, and he was one of those that were on the straight path of Allah. Came and found this. He went straight for the tent of their leader. And he found him in that situation. And with his spear, he stabbed him and killed him on the spot. SubhanAllah. So, SubhanAllah, look at this person, Bil'an ibn Ba'wara, how he goes from someone calling to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to someone devising these kind of tricks in order to, and he almost succeeded because the punishment, because he knew that the punishment of Allah ta'ala with the Israelites was immediate, and it was not for the effort of Musa alayhi salam to restore the order. And this man that I just mentioned, that killed that leader, that subhanAllah, he was leading by a dubious example, then the Israelites, all of them would have died. And sure enough, the narration mentions that 70,000 of them died with the plague. 70,000 because of what they did. It could have been all of them, subhanAllah. And this, ya ikhwa, is a clear example of something that the Prophet ﷺ mentioned in a hadith of Abu Hurairah. And also Ibn Mas'ud mentioned this hadith. And he was asked about this hadith. He cried until he passed out. Then he woke up. And he was about to start saying the hadith, and he cried. Then he passed out. It happened 3 times. Then he said, the Prophet ﷺ told him that 3 types of people will be the first to be thrown in the hellfire. They will be the fuel of the hellfire. To sa'aw bihim, and now. To sa'aw, the flames of it will become higher because of them. Yeah. SubhanAllah. Who are these people? He said that a person that is a scholar. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings him forth on the day of judgment. And He will show him His bounties. And He will recognize them. What are these bounties? The ability to learn, the ability to understand, the ability to memorize. All these are bounties from Allah. That's what makes a scholar. And then He will recognize those bounties. And then He said, ماذا عملت فيها? What do you do with these bounties? He said, Ya Allah, I learned the knowledge so that I can teach others and call to your deen. فيقول الله عز وجل كذبت وتقول الملائكة كذبت. Allah Ta'ala will say, you have lied. And the angels will say, you have lied. فعلت ليقال عالم وقد قيل. You did all of that so that people will say, oh, there goes the scholar so-and-so. MashaAllah, that's the scholar so-and-so. This is what you wanted. And it was said. It was said. The people that the praise that you wanted him. But guess what? This is not in the hadith, but this is something that we deduce from it. Guess what? Those people that you wanted, you were longing for their praise, they're all here today. Ask them if they can do anything for you. There's not a thing they can do for you. SubhanAllah. Number 1. وَرَجُلٌ أَتَاهُ اللَّهُ. And this particular one came in another narration. Al-Quran. Allah Ta'ala gave him the Quran. SubhanAllah. And then he's brought forth on the Day of Judgment. And Allah Ta'ala shows him His bounties. And he recognized them. He said, what have you done with them? He said, well, Allah, memorize the Quran so I can recite it during the day and at night in a manner that pleasing to you, and I can teach it to others. He said, you have lied. And the angels will say, you have lied. قرأت القرآن يقال قارئ. Or what do they say today? Hafiz. Hafiz. Or Hafid. I said Hafiz. So many of them. But subhanAllah, once they have that status, then Allah Ta'ala will hold them accountable for did they practice what they memorized? Did they understand it? Did they take the time to understand what it says? To implement? Well, it's implications. You did so the people say, there goes the qari, the reciter. And it was said. What you wanted to be said, it was said. And by the way, they mentioned the first one. The second one, same thing. Then he will be taken and thrown in the hellfire. وَرَجُلٌ, a man that was given all kinds of money. Every kind of wealth you can think of. He's brought forth on the Day of Judgment. and he's shown the bounties, and you recognize them. Allah asks him, what have you done? Allah, oh Allah, you gave me wealth. I did not leave one door, one avenue, one possibility in which I can give for your sake except that I gave. Allah says, you have lied. The angels say, you have lied. You did so people can say, there goes so-and-so, the generous, al-jawad, and yuqal al-jawad, waqad qeel, there goes so-and-so, mashallah, he's so generous, he's so giving, mashallah, subhanallah. And he was said, and he's taken and thrown in the hellfire. Fourth category, imagine this, someone that died, someone that fought in a battle for the sake of Allah, or a battle that is for the sake of Allah, and he died, and he's brought forth. And Allah asks him about the bounties. Who gave you the courage to do that? Who gave you the skills to fight? Who gave you? Who gave you? He shows them and you recognize them. He said, what have you done with these bounties? Well, Allah, I fought for your sake and died in the battlefield for your sake. He said, you have lied. Angels say, you have lied. You fought, so people say, what is the word? يقال يقال باسل يقال باسل باسل عندنا احنا في بلدنا في مثال someone who's mischievous but باسل البسالة في اللغة العربية هي الشجاع يقال شجاع باسل. There's another word that I'm looking for that was mentioned in one of the narrations, another word in the Arabic language. So you did so people say there goes so-and-so, the knight, the warrior, the courageous one, the strong one, the skillful, the fighter, all of these things. Yeah, you want these things to be said? A person came to the Prophet, one of us will fight out of hamiyya, out of tribalism, and he will fight he will fight so that people, so people see his status, and they will fight for the sake of Allah. Which one is for the sake of Allah? He said, well, whichever is 100% for the sake of Allah, that one is for the sake of Allah. All the others are just a waste of time. It's a waste of time. So this one that actually thought that he died, and he fought and died for the sake of Allah, he's taken and thrown in the hellfire. Similarly, ya ikhwan, the example of this man, Bil'am ibn Ba'ura, should make all of us be very careful. Because you can never take our religion for granted. It takes one fitna, one event, in which you're not careful. And one door of wind or door of hurricane that you don't close and barricade for you to lose everything. You catch my drift? A door that opens, and those doors open all the time. Some wind comes, some new wind coming at you, some fitna coming at you. If you don't say no and close the door and you're firm completely, categoric, the French say categoric. You are firm about it and you don't close the door and you just let it say, okay, let me see what's going to happen. That's when you lose it, subhanAllah. Prophet ﷺ mentioned the path to Allah as a path with a lot of doors on each side and drapes over those doors. And each door has a fitna in it. And then the caller of Allah Ta'ala tell the people, just keep walking, don't even look at those doors, just keep walking. Keep walking to Allah. Whoever opens a drape and looks, he will fall in it. And once he falls, the chances of coming out is what happened to this. Imagine, he is at a level, at a status, where whenever he makes supplication, is answered. And then subhanAllah, this happens to him. No one is safe. So a lot of dua, ya ikhwa, a lot of dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And whenever you see the fitna, you run away from it. Don't say, no, I'm strong. Because I know some Muslims that say that. No. The real strength is to be in the face of the fitna, and then it doesn't touch you. How do you know? Are you willing to gamble? Gambling is haram in Islam. Gambling is haram. Might as well be at the slot machine. it's haram. Don't gamble with your religion. Stay away. The Prophet ﷺ said that when the fitna of the Dajjal comes, what are you supposed to do? Run as far away as you can. He's coming here. You go to Australia, as far away as you possibly can, because you don't know. You don't know you don't know what your reaction will be in the face of the fitna. This man was the oldest trick in the book. Little money, little power. Show him a little. That's it. SubhanAllah, they turned his life upside down, and he became a helper of the shaitan. So Allah Ta'ala says, وَقْصُصِ الْقَصَصَ. Tell them the stories so that people will consider, they will remember. And these stories, in the Quran, they're not for you and I to be entertained, but rather it's for us to reconsider, to benefit, to learn. And the scholars say that as-sa'id, the successful one, is the one that learns from other people's mistakes. He does not wait until he falls in a mistake and then he learns the hard way. We learn the easy way by looking at the other people's mistakes and staying away from them. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect you and I from the fitan. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect our families from the fitan. May Allah ta'ala keep you and I on the tawheed of Allah and keep you and I on the path of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. أقول قولي هذا أستغفر الله لي ولكم سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون سلام على المرسلين الحمد لله رب العالمين جزاك الله خير.
He's mentioned in the Bible, they call him Balaam.
Balaam with his donkey is mentioned in the Bible.
Yes, talking to him about his in front of him.
Balaam, yeah.